Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Please let me know in the chat box. Okay. So, in this today's session, we are going to discuss some of the latest questions of TCS Codevita. We are going to discuss how we can solve the particular questions, what are the important things we have to focus on it. Okay. So, let's go with the first question. A company has decided to give some of gifts to all of its employees. For that, the company has given some ranks to each employee. Based on that rank, the company has made certain rules to distribute the gift. The rules for distributing the gifts are each employee must receive at least one gift. Employees having higher ranking get a greater number of gifts than their neighbor. What is the minimum number of gifts required by the company? You see, every problem statement we are solving, in that problem statement, first we have to focus on input. That means what input we are getting, output, what output we are displaying, and what are the conditions we are having in the particular problem statement. So here, first we will think what input we are having in the particular problem statement. Okay. Now see, input we have to take from user, that is first line contains integer t denoting the number of test cases. Later on, for each test case, first line contains integer n denoting the number of employees. Second line contains n space separated integers denoting the rank of each employee. That means we need we need one input, that is the main input, number of test cases. Based on the number of test cases, for each and every test case, I need two inputs. Suppose if I am taking t as a 2, then for first test case, I need number of employees and then ranking of each employee. For second test case, same number of employees and ranking of each employee. And what output we have to display? Okay, we have to display minimum number of gifts required by the company. And what are the conditions we are having? Already we saw, right? Conditions are each and every employee must receive at least one gift. That means if we are having 10 employees, minimum 10 gifts we needed, right? Now, what is the second condition? Employees having higher ranking get a greater number of gifts than their neighbors. So that means just like in college or schools, we will have grades, right? We are having marks. Just like that, this company is giving a ranking to the employees. So gifts will be distributed based on the employees. Initially, they are having one gift, but the second gifts will be depend on their ranking. And what second condition is saying? Second condition is saying whoever having higher ranking, they will get greater number of gifts. But higher ranking means which higher ranking? From their neighbors. Okay, so whatever the employees are there, if any employee is having higher ranking than its neighbors, that particular employee will get more number of gifts or greater number of gifts from their uh, employees, right? So now see the constraint. What are the constraints are there? Test cases should be always greater than 1 and less than 10. Number of employees should be less than this particular amount and rank should be less than 10 raised to 9. Okay. Now let's see what is the first input we are having. So here we are having two test cases. And in first test case, we are having 5 number of employees. This 5 indicates n because already we saw in input format, first input belongs to number of test cases. Based on the test cases, again we are having two inputs, that is 5. 5 is nothing but number of employees, and this is the second input for each test case, that is nothing but a ranking of each employee. Now ranking we are storing in a form of array. Now we are having 5 employees. For each employee we are having some ranking, right? So first employee is having 1 rank, second employee is having 2 rank, third employee is having rank 1, fourth employee is having rank 5, and fifth employee is having rank 2. Okay, now what is the condition? First condition they said, for each and every employee at minimum one gift they has to give, right? So I'll take one another container or array to store the number of gifts, right? So initially I'll distribute one gift to each and everyone because that one the first condition. So initially for first employee, second, third, fourth and fifth employee, we are giving one gift to each and every employee. Now after this, what is the second condition? See, second condition they are saying employees having higher ranking get greater numbers of gifts than their neighbors. Okay. Now see here, for one, who is the neighbor? For one, definitely two is the neighbor, right? So two is the neighbor for first employee, right? So that means check whether this the first employee is having greater or higher rank than its neighbor employee. Check whether one is greater than two or not. One is not greater than two, right? So that's why we don't need to give more gifts to first employee, right? Now go with the second employee. Now see, in second employee, what is his rank? For second employee, rank is 2. Now check its neighbors. How many neighbors we are having for second employee? So for second employee, see, we are having two neighbors. So this I will consider as N1, that is neighbor 1, and N2, that is neighbor 2. See, always, if even though if you are staying in a home, in a colony, our besides whatever the homes we are having, with the both homes we called them as a neighbors, right? So here also in array, if second employee is there, its neighbors are first employee and third employee, right? Now initially we will iterate through left to right only. So that means I am going to consider the next employee only. For first employee, I considered second employee's rank, right? There we checked whether one is greater than two or not. Yes. So here also I'll check whether two is greater than one or not. That means I am checking third employee's rank with second employee. I am checking whether second employee is having greater rank than third employee or not. If yes, then we have to give more gifts than third employee, right? So third employee's rank is 1, but second employee's rank is 2, which is greater, right? That means if third employee is getting one gift, second employee should have get two gifts, right? So that's why we are giving second employee two gifts. Okay, now move forward. Now we will check for the third employee. Now for third employee, what is his rank? His rank is 1. Now check 1 is greater than 5 or not. Third employee we will compare with fourth employee. Now 1 is not greater than 5. That means we don't need to increment the number of gifts. Now check for the next employee. Check the fourth employee with fifth employee. Check 5 is greater than 2 or not. Yes, 5 is greater than 2. That means the fourth employee should have get more gifts than fifth employee, right? So if fifth employee is getting one gift, fourth employee should have get two gifts. That's why we will increment one more gift to the fourth employee. Now see, for two, we just compared one neighbor, that is third employee. But one first employee is also his neighbor, right? We have to compare that also. Now check for the third employee also. We just checked the fourth employee. We just compared with the fourth employee. But again, second employee also its neighbor, right? So we have to check with the second employee also. Same for fourth employee, we checked with or we compared with fifth employee. But we didn't compare with the third employee because third employee is also its neighbor. So now what we will go? We will iterate this array from backward side. That means now we are going to compare the previous employees. Now check whether already we cross verified for this one, right? Again we will check whether 2 is greater than 5 or not. 2 is not greater than 5. That means for 2 only one neighbor we are having, that is 5. But this last employees or last neighbors rank is 2 only, which is less than 5. So no need to increment the gift. Okay. Now we'll check with 5. That means fourth employee. We already checked with the last employee, that is his left neighbor. Now we'll check with the right neighbor. Check whether 5 is greater than your previous employee, third employee or not. Yes, 5 is greater than your previous employee. But see the gifts also. Already 5 is getting more gifts than his neighbor, right? 5 is already getting 2 gifts and 1 is getting only 1 gift. So here also no need to increment the gift. Now check for the 1. Already we cross verified 5 with this one. Now we have to cross verify with second employee. So check whether 1 is greater than 2. 1 is not greater than 2. So again no need to increment the gift. Now for 2 already we checked with neighbor 2. So we have to check with neighbor 1. So check whether 2 is greater than 1 or not. Yes, 2 is greater than 1. Now check the gifts also. See, 1 is getting only 1 gift. That means first employee is getting only 1 gift. But second employee is getting 2 gifts. That means already the second employee is getting greater gifts or more gifts than his neighbors. So that's why no need to increment this gift again. Now check with the all the employees. We have cross verified all the employees now ranked with their neighbors, right? So let's count the gift. 1 plus 2 3 plus 1 4 plus 2 6 and last one plus 1 7. That means how many minimum number of gifts we needed? We need 7 numbers of minimum gifts to deploy to this particular employees. Clear about this one? Please let me know in the chat box. Okay, now see the for the second test case as well. How many number of employees we are having here? We are having 2 number of employees, right? That is n. And what is the ranking of these two employees? 1 and 2. Now check for 1 how many initially we will distribute 1 gift to these employees. Now check for 1 how many neighbors we are having? Only one neighbor, that is 2. Check first employee's rank is greater than your second employee or not. It is not. 1 is not greater than 2. So no need to give extra gift, right? Now check for the second employee. For second employee, again we are having only one neighbor, that is first employee. Now check second employee's rank is greater than first employee or not. Yes, it is greater than first employee. So we have to give more gift to the second employee. So how many gifts we need to distribute here? 2 plus 1, 3 minimum gifts we needed for the second test case. Okay, understood? Okay, now how we are going to implement this in a coding part? See, when we are discussing about this particular first test case, what we said for each and for each and every employees, we can have two neighbors, right? Left neighbor and right neighbor. So we have to compare with the both neighbors, left neighbor also and right neighbor also. As well as, see here, two for the second employee. See, this employee is having rank greater than its third next employee also and previous employee also. But only one time we have incremented the gift, because what condition they are giving, they are saying that we have to find out the minimum gifts. But as well as, if some employees are having higher rank than its neighbors, then we have to give more gifts to the particular employees, right? But here 2 is greater than 1 and 2 is greater than 1. That means he is having higher rank than its previous neighbor also and next neighbor also. But only one time we have incremented the gift. Why? Because if already he is getting more gifts, then no need to give extra gift to him, right? So that means we have to iterate from the left side also, we have to iterate from the right side also, and we have to cross verify with the gifts also. What we have to cross verify? If the particular rank is greater than the particular neighbor's rank, then we have to check whether he is getting more gifts. That means already whether he is getting more gifts than his neighbor or not. If he is getting more gifts than his neighbor, then no need to give extra gifts. But if not, then we have to increment the gift. Now logically, how we are going to implement this in a coding part? We will iterate through this ranking array. We will check for, initially we will go from left to right. We will check for the left neighbors, whether the particular right neighbor is greater than the left neighbor or not. If yes, directly we will increment one gift. Otherwise, we will not going to increment the gift. And initially, for each and every employee, we will give one gift. Later on, we will iterate from the right to left. That time we will check the left neighbor is greater than right neighbor or not. If left neighbor is greater than right neighbor, then we will check whether the gifts are greater than its neighbor or not. If gifts are greater, then we are not going to increment the gifts. But if not, then we will increment one more gift to the particular employee. Okay, now we will try to solve the particular problem statement. Okay, I'm writing a code in Java. If you want, you can write in other languages also. Okay, so in Java, if you want to see here, we have to take three inputs from the user. First input is number of test cases, and depend on the number of test cases, again for each and every test case we need two inputs. That inputs we have to take from the user, right? So in Java, if you want to take input from user, that time we have to import one package, that is nothing but util package. Inside this util package we are having scanner class. So using that scanner class only we can take a input from user. So that's why I'm importing a util package in this particular program. After that, this is the structure of class in Java. So how we can declare a class? That is access modifier, class keyword, and method name. So here compiler will start compilation from main method only. In Java, compiler will start compilation from main method. So what is the by default syntax for a main method? Public static void main string arguments, and inside this method block we can write our block of code. So here Public is nothing but a access modifier. Static keyword we will use for if you don't want to create an object for the particular method, but still if you want to use the particular method, then we will use static keyword. Void is a null return type and main is a method name. So here I'll create a object for scanner class, because if you want to take input from user, we have to use scanner class object. So scanner, I'm giving object name as yes. Again, class name scanner system.in. So this is how we can create a objects for scanner class. Now, what is the first input I have to take from user? I have to take number of test cases, right? That number of test cases are nothing but it is in the form of integers, because number of test cases means 1, 2, 3, 4 like this only, right? In constant also they mentioned number of test cases should be greater than 1 and it should be less than 10. So here I am taking integer data type to store the number of test cases, and that number of test cases I'll store in a t variable. So now if you are taking integer input, here we have to use one method in Java, that is nextInt. NextInt method will take the integer input from user, right? Now depend on the number of test cases, I have to take two inputs, right? So suppose if I'm having 10 number of test cases or 8 test cases, so that time I have to take 8 times n value and ranking of each and every employee. So that's why I'm iterating one loop which will start from 0 and it will be go up to number of test cases. So number of test cases here we are storing in t. So I'll take it should be less than t and I plus plus. I is nothing but just a temporary variable to use for this particular for loop. Now inside this again I have to take two test cases. One is number of employees that I'll store in n, which is again I'll use here nextInt method, and next is nothing but we have to take the rank of each and every employee. Now see, for each and every employee we cannot able to store the ranks in a variable, right? So here I am declaring one array to store the ranks of each and every employee. So this array name is rank, and I'll give here size of this particular array should be equal to number of employees, right? That number of employees are nothing but we are storing in n variable. So that's why I'm giving the size is n. For now each and every employee again I have to take the rank from user. So again here it will start from 0 and here it will go up to what is the size of particular array. Size of our array is nothing but n, that is number of employees. So it will go up to n less than t less than n. Now see, here we cannot use equal to. Suppose if I am having 4 employees, then I can go up to 3, because in Java indexing will start with 0. That's why we are taking up to less than. We are not using less than equal to. Okay, and increment. So inside this I'll take the input for rank. So rank array on the 10th position is equal to s dot nextInt. S is nothing but the scanner class object and nextInt is a method to take the input from user, right? Now see, this is just the input we took from the user, right? Now we have to display the output, that is minimum gifts, and for that we have to calculate the particular gifts. So here I am taking one variable to store the number of gifts. So here I'll take total gifts variable. So inside that I am going to store the particular total number of gifts or minimum number of gifts I need to distribute. Now for this first I have to calculate the particular total number of gifts, right? So to calculate this total number of gifts, I'll call or I'll create one method. So that method name I'll give as suppose public. Here I'm not going to create any object for this method, so that's why I'm using static keyword, static. Now if I'm calculating the number of gifts, that number of gifts I have to return from this particular method, right? So that's why I'm going to take integer as a return type and method name. So I'll take calculate gifts as a method name. For this method, what input I have to give? I have to give number of employees and ranking of that particular employees. So that's why integer and array name is rank. Okay. Now inside this particular method, I can calculate the number of gifts. And here I have to call this particular method because only main method is going to execute, right, in Java. So in main method, we have to call this another method. So we can get the output. So how to call this method? I'll directly write a method name, that is calculate gifts. And for this, what input we are giving? We are giving n and array that names is rank. Okay. And after this, see, input completed. We are going to calculate the gifts in this method. And after calculating, whatever output we are getting, that output we have to display. So to display something in Java, we will use system.out.print method. Or there are three methods: print, println, and printf. Print method we will use to display the output in the same line, println to display the output on the next line, and printf for the format printing. Here what I have to print? I have to print the number of gifts, minimum number of gifts, and where I am storing that value? I am storing that value in a total gifts. So whatever at the last total gifts will store the value, that value I have to display as a minimum gifts, right? So that's why I am here writing total gifts as a variable name. So input completed, output completed. Now just we have to calculate the particular number of gifts, right? So that's why what logic we discussed when we are solving the first test case, there we are discussing how we are going to calculate the gifts. So initially we are going to store the number of gifts for each and every employee. Initially we are going to give one gifts, right? So to store that particular number of gifts, again I need some array, right? I have to store it somewhere, so I need storage. So first I'll create some storage to store the number of gifts. So that storage is nothing but array, and this array name is gifts, is equal to, what will be the size of this array now? It should be equal to number of employees. That means how many number of employees are there, that many gifts we have to display, we have to give. Okay. Now later what we said, we have to give one gift to each and every employee. So that's why for in this particular gifts array, I'll add one gifts. How we are going to add one gifts? So we have to iterate through each and every number or each and every index of your particular array. So in which indexing will start with 0, it will go up to number of employees and incremented part. Inside this, for each and every index, that is gifts of ith position. So initially for the 0th position, it will give one gift. Later on, it will be incremented part, I plus plus, I will become 1. That means on the first position. That means for the first index, second employee will be there. He will also get one gift. For 3, third employee will get one gift, like this. That means for each and every employee, here we are distributing one gift. So after distributing one gift, what we said, we will travel from the left to right. That means we will compare left employees with right employees, whether the left employee is greater than right employee or not. If yes, then we will increment the gift value, right? So again, I'll write one loop to travel from left to right, right? So that's why int I is equal to 1. I less than equal to n and I plus plus. Okay. Now inside this, I have to check the condition. What I have to check? if the particular employee's rank is greater than previous employee's rank. If I am taking here 1, on the first position we are having our second employee, right? So I have to check whether second employee's rank is greater than first employee or not. So that's why here I'll write a condition: rank of ith position employee, that is first employee, is greater than rank of your previous employee. Now previous employee, how we can access? That is nothing but index minus 1. Index minus 1 means you will get previous employee. Here see, I value is 1. 1 minus 1, we will get 0th index. 0th index means first employee, and first index means second employee. If second employee is having rank greater than its first employee, then we have to increment the gift number. So if only if the condition is satisfied, we will increment the gift in gift array. So gift at ith position should be equal to gift of your previous employee plus 1. We have to give one more extra gift to this particular person. So that's why we are writing gift I minus 1 plus 1. That means gift of previous employee plus 1. Okay. Now this will be traversing from the for the left employees. Again we have to check for the right employees also, right? Because for one employee we are having two neighbors, right? So from to travels right to left, again here I'll write another for loop for int I should be equal to n. N means nothing. N minus 2, sorry. N minus 2. N is nothing but the size of your array. Why we are taking n minus 2? Because last employee we can access using n minus 1. Suppose if I am having 5 number of employee. 5 numbers of employee means I'll have indexing in array from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the fourth index, I'll have my last employee, that is fifth one. Now I have to check whether fourth employee is greater than my fifth employee or not. And I have to check with the gifts also. So that's why I am starting a loop from n minus 2. That means here I is indicating the fourth employee and I should be greater than equal to 0. So until unless we are not reaching to the 0th position, we will iterate the loop and always we will decrement the I value. Now inside this, what I have to check? We have to check two conditions. Initially, we are checking only one condition. From left to right, we are checking only one condition, that is rank. But from right to left, again we have to check with the gifts also, because already we incremented some gifts, right? So more like many gifts we don't need to give to the employees. We have to give minimum gifts, but it should be greater for higher rank employees. So that's why here we will check both rank also and gifts also. So what I have to check? Rank of the particular current employee, that means fourth employee, is greater than rank of your next employee or not. That means fifth employee. Here n minus 2 means, suppose if I am taking n value as 5, 5 minus 2 means third index. Third index means nothing but fourth employee is greater than 3 plus 1 means fourth index. That means fifth employee. If that is the case, if the rank is greater, then check with the gifts also. Now check gift of the current employee is less than or equal to gift of the next employee or not. If the gifts are less than equal to the previous employee, the next employee, then only we need to increment the gift. So that's why we will write gift of I is equal to gifts of I plus 1 plus 1. That means we will increment one more gifts to the particular employee's account. Right? See carefully, here we are checking ranks also and gifts also. Only when if the rank and gifts, both the conditions are satisfied, then only we are going to increment the gift. Otherwise, no. So it will iterate for the all the employees. Now at the last we have to calculate the total gifts, right? Now how we are going to calculate? See, here also we are storing some gifts. Here also we are storing some gifts, number of gifts. Here I'll calculate total gifts. So outside of our for loop, I'll write int total gifts is equal to 0 inside this for each and every gift. It will indicate as gifts. Sorry, gifts will indicate each and every gift. Now inside this I'll add all these gifts into one variable, that is total gifts. Total gifts plus equal to gift. Now we have to return this particular value to the main method. So return total gifts. Now see, I'll take one test case and we will iterate through the particular test cases. We will try run the code. We will check whether it is giving correct output or not. Okay. What was our first test case? What was our first test case? So here number of test cases, I'll take one only. Okay. For only one test case, we will discuss. Number of test cases 1. Now I is 0, which is less than equal to 1. So we will go inside the for loop. Here I'll take number of employees. So here number of employees I'll take 5. Whatever our first test case where we were discussed, that only I'm taking. Number of employees are 5. Now I'll take the rank of each and every employee. Now see here t value is 0, t is less than n. So t is less than n means n value is 5. T is 0 is less than 5. So we are going to take the first input. That means on the first position, whatever the user is entering, that value you can store in this particular array. Okay. Now first array, first value I'll take 1. Now see t plus plus. After taking the first input, we are giving incremented value. So it will be t plus plus. So what will happen? T will become 1. Now again condition will get checked. It will check whether 1 is less than 5 or not. Yes, 1 is less than 5. So it will go inside the for loop and again we will ask to enter one second employee's rank from the user. So second employee's rank is 2, 3, 5 and 2. Whatever the first test case was discussed, same number of ranks I took from this user. Okay. Now later on we will come to this particular line. After completing this one for loop, we came to this particular line. Now in this particular line, see, we are taking one variable called total gifts. In this variable, we are calling one method called calculate gifts. Now, if you are calling this method, control will go to this particular method. Now, what we have to do? We have to check. What we have to check? What input we are giving here? We are giving two inputs, that is number of employees and rank. What is the number of employees we are having here? We are having n value is equal to 5, right? Now here I have created one gift array. In this array, what is the size of this array? Size of this array is 5. Now initially this gifts array is empty, right? Gifts array is empty. So in this array here, we are adding some values. See here, I is equal to 0, I less than n. I 0 means I is having currently 0 value. I less than n means what is the value of n? N value is 5. So gifts of I. Gifts of ith position means what is the value of I? It is 0. So on the 0th position in gifts, add one gift, that is 1. So after first for loop and first iteration, we will get one value in this particular array. So initially integer array will looks like this. All values are 0, 0, 0, 0. So after first iteration, it will become 1, 0, 0, 0. So now next time what will happen? It will become I plus plus, right? Here it will become I plus plus. If we are writing I plus plus, that means this I value will become 1. Now for the 1, check again whether 1 is less than 5 or not. Yes, 1 is less than 5. So it will increment one more gift to the 1th or first position in the array. That is first index value means your second employee. So here it will become again 1. Just like that, at the end of this particular for loop, you will get the gifts array as like this. That is 1, 1, 1, 1. For each and every employee, we gave 1, 1 gifts. Right? Yeah. Now check with the second for loop. What we are doing here in second for loop, we are cross verifying the employee's rank. We are checking whether do we have any employee whose rank is greater than its neighbors, right? So here I'll take our rank array. What was our rank array? Our rank array looks like 1, 2, 1, 5 and 2, right? Now check I is equal to 1. I is equal to 1 means it is indicating second element in your particular array. What is the second element in array? It is 2, right? So here I'll take 2. Now check is greater than I minus 1. I minus 1 means I value is 1. 1 minus 1 means 0. On the 0th position, what we are having? We are having 1 as an element in the array, right? So now check 2 is greater than 1 or not. Yes, 2 is greater than 1, right? So condition satisfied. That means we are going to increment one gift. So where we are incrementing a gift? So in gifts of position I. What is the I value? I value is 1, right? So on the first position, give one more gift. That is I minus 1. I minus 1 means 0. On the 0th position in gift array, how many gifts we are having? See here, in gifts array, we are having one gift. Increment one more gift. So 1 plus 1, it will become 2. So on the position of gift I, that means on the position of first index, we have to increment one more gift. That is 1 plus 1, it will become 2. So now your gifts array will look like this. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Now again this for loop will iterate. So it will become I plus plus. That means I will become 2. Now on the second position, check what value you are having. On the second position, we are having 1. Right? On the second position in the array, on the second index value, we are having 1. Now check 1 is greater than previous index value. That means 2 minus 1, it will become 1. Now on the first position, first index value, what value we are having? It is element 2. That means rank 1 is greater than 2 or not? It is not, right? 1 is not greater than 2. So that's why if condition not satisfied, we are not going to increment the gift. I value will iterate. I will become 3 now. Now check on the third index value, what value we are having? On the third index, we are having 5. Check 5 is greater than I minus 1. Now I is 3, right? 3 minus 1, 2. On the second index value, what value you are having? 1. Check 5 is greater than 1 or not? Yes, 5 is greater than 1. If 5 is greater than 1, that means condition satisfied. If condition satisfied means what we have to go do? We have to increment one gift. So which gift we have to increment? On the ith position. Now what is the value of I? It is 3, right? Index value is 3. So on the index value of 3, you have to increment one more gift which was more than previous I minus 1. That means from second index value. Now check the gift array. In this gift array, see, this is the 0th index, first index, second index, and third index. Now we have to increment the gift to the third index. But what is the value of second index? Second index value is 1. 1 plus 1, 2. That means on the third position, employee should have get 2 gifts. Okay. Now again, I value will increment in your for loop. I will become 4. Now check 4 is less than 5. Yes, 4 is less than 5. Now what is the value you are having on the this particular index? On the fourth index, we are having value of 2, right? So check whether 2 is greater than I minus 1. I minus 1 means 5. 2 is greater than 5? No, right? So that's why if condition is not going to satisfy, again your I value will increment. Now I value will become 5. Now check the condition. 5 is less than 5? No, 5 is not less than 5. 5 is equal to 5 but not less than 5. So that's why this loop will terminate. Now we will go to the next loop. Now see, first loop we took for the first loop we took for iteration from left to right. Now second loop we have to take for second loop we have to take for from right to left also we have to go right. We have to cross verify. So this loop is for right to left. We have to iterate from right to left. Now check here. In this third loop, so after this second loop, your gifts array will look like this. Okay, sorry, I'll take it as a comment. Our gift array is looking like this, as equal to 1, see here, 2, 1, 2, and 1. Okay. Now here I value is n minus 2. N minus 2 means, what is the n value? N value is 5. 5 minus 2 means third index. Now check on the third index what value you are having in your ranking array. Your ranking array is here 1 2 1 5 2, right? So in ranking array on the third position you are having 1, right? So here I'll take one element. So check 1 is greater than rank plus I of I plus 1. So rank of I means 1. Rank of I plus 1 means the value is 3. 3 plus 1, fourth. On the fourth index, what value we are having? Sorry, here it is 5. On the third index, we are having value as 5. Now we have to check 5 is greater than the fourth index value. Fourth index value is 2. Whether 5 is greater than 2? Yes, 5 is greater than 2. That means first condition satisfied. Now check with the second condition. Second condition is gifts. For gifts, and is there, we are using and operator, right? That means both the conditions should have satisfied, then only we can go inside this if condition. Okay, now check for the gifts. Gift of I means gift at the third index value is less than equal to gift of the fourth index value or not. Now what is the gift of third index value? Third index value gift is 2, right? See here in gifts array. So this is your third index value 2. 2 is less than equal to 1? No, 2 is not less than equal to 1. That means second condition is not satisfying. That's why we are not going to increment the gifts. So later on I minus minus, because here we are using decrementing operator. So it will become I minus minus. I minus minus means now your temporary variable I will become 2. Now check the condition. 2 is greater than equal to 0. Yes, 2 is greater than equal to 0. So go to the if condition. Now check the condition. On the second position, second index value, what is the rank element we are having? On the second index value, we are having 1. Check 1 is greater than the 5 or not, because I plus 1 it will become 3. 1 is not greater than 5. That means first condition itself not satisfying. So again it will, we are not going inside the if condition. We will iterate through the loop and decrement the value of I. So I will become 1. Now check, 1 is less than 1 is greater than equal to 0. Yes, 1 is greater than equal to 0. That means again we will go inside the for loop. Inside the for loop we are having if condition, right? Inside this if condition, check. Now check inside the if condition. Rank of I. What is the value of ith position? That means first position. First position we are having value of rank is 2. Check, 2 is greater than third positions, sorry, second position, second index value, that is 1. So 2 is greater than 1. Yes, 2 is greater than 1. That means first condition satisfied. Check for the second condition, gifts condition. Now in the gift condition, check for this gift whether this particular employee is having less gift than its neighbor or not. So gifts at ith position, that means gift at first index. First index is having 2 gifts. So 2 is less than equal to 1 or not. 2 is not less than equal to 1. So again we are not going inside this if condition. We will directly decrement the value. So here I value will become 0. Now check, 0 is greater than equal to 0 or not. Yes, 0 is greater than equal to 0. So again check the condition. If condition. Rank of 0th position, that means 1 is greater than rank of first position, 2. 1 is not greater than 2. So that means again we are not going inside the if condition. We will decrement the temporary variable value. So it will become minus 1. Now check, minus 1 is greater than equal to 0 or not. Minus 1 is not greater than equal to 0. That means we are going to terminate this for loop. We are not entering into the for loop. This for loop will get terminated. Now we are going to calculate the total gifts. Now see, initially total gifts are 0. Now this is a for each loop in Java. Gifts is nothing but a temporary variable which will indicate each and every elements of gift array. Now in the gift array, first gifts will indicate the 0th index. That 0th index will be added to the total gifts. So that means 1 will be added to the total gifts. So here your total gift value will become 1. Later on, second, it will be incremented each for each loop. So second index, first index value. So on first index value you are having 2. Then third index value. Then fourth index value and fifth index value. Just like this, we will take the index value. We will add all the gifts into total gifts, and at the last, we are returning the particular total gifts. So here return spelling is right. Okay. Now we will try to execute this particular program. Okay. Here I missed one semicolon. Okay. 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 In the line number 12, I already used one variable and again we are using the same variable. That's why we are getting one error. We'll check. Here, oh, already we took test cases in this variable, right? So that's why here we have to change the variable name. I'll take F. Okay. So here also we have to change the variable name. It should be F. Okay. Oh, and here our array name is F. So here I'll make it as a gift. Gift. Everywhere we are using array name as a gift only. Okay. Now again I'll try to execute the program. Okay. Somewhere I used array name as a gift and somewhere I used as a gift. So that's why we are getting one error here. We declared as a gift and here we are using as a gifts. That's why. Okay. Here also gift. Here variable name you have to change. Now our program got executed. Now here I am taking one test case. So first value we have to take input for number of test cases, right? So number of test cases I'll give one only. Next input is for n value. So n value I'll give 5 number of employees. Then second one is ranks of that employees. So I'll give 1, 2, 1, 5 and 2. Now see the output 7. Here we got the correct output. Yes. Check once. Understood? If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the chat box. If you don't have any doubts, we can end this session. Thank you.